Okay. Wait.
Okay,
Can
the
you hear me?
first or the second speaker from the opposition team will start first. So please present your reply speech. Thank you.
Okay, can you hear me?
From the opposition team first,
Oh,
then the
opposition.
government. Okay.
Okay, can you hear me? Loud and
Yes.
clear. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Once again, back again for the reply speech. There are three main things that I want to be talking about in the span of the 3 minutes that I've been given. Firstly, I want to point out the flaw under side government, where there is a clash under side government regarding the concept of finance and concept of stabilizing the economy. They advocate for giving incentives in order to help the people, financially and all that, to give financial aid. But then they also claim that it will actually help in the economy. We believe that this is a clash that shows that it is illogical for them to for us to believe that it will actually cause improvement in the economy. But secondly, we are to summarize this whole debate, we can actually summarize it and pull it down to two fundamental questions. Firstly, is it effective? Is the approach effective, or is and secondly, is the approach practical? We have shown to you why it is not effective in order for us to do incentives in order to help decrease the amount of cases that is happening right now. And we provide an alternative that is just as effective in the case of our restricting movement, and then also helping the people in order to people that are not able to take the vaccine. Under side government, they don't prove how it is actually effective because all the focus is about the one side of anti-vaxxers, and when in reality the problem lies not in the people that are going to influence other people, but the more severe problem is lies to the non-availability of the vaccine in the country that is happening right now. Thirdly, what do we see under side opposition? We see a side opposition that is holistic in their approach. We see that we have catered under side opposition. We have catered to everyone and every side of the people in the country. We cater towards like the people that are going to probably influence other people, which we call anti-vaxxers, and we also cater towards the people that uh, does not take the vaccine, not because they don't want to or anything, but because they just are not able to do so. And then we also see a position that is realistic because we acknowledge that there's other factors other than money. There is other factors other than money is good, and like that will actually influence people in order to not take that, in order to prove that the action is not effective. We believe we talk about the psychology and the generation of negative perception, while government is optimistic and they believe that the money can already change the mentality of anti-vaxxers. And even if they are able to change the mentality of the anti-vaxxers or the mentality of these people, they they think they are too optimistic to think that these people actually have a big enough influence in changing other people's mind in order to help decrease the cases and thus end the pandemic. Okay, so that's all for me. I've shown to you why at the end of the day, side opposition should actually win, and that this motion, in which that we should not actually give incentives to for people that have gotten vaccine. That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, the opposition side. Now the government team may present your reply speech.
Okay. Okay, let me start. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome for the last time from today's government. It is now my pleasure to summarize this debate. Before we wrap up our debate, I will introduce one of the strongest argument from our team and also the main clash that went on during this debate. So, the strongest argument came from government side is when we give incentive, it will lead to increased percentage of herd immunity as it is a win-win situation for both parties. Why? Because as I mentioned before, government use give and take concept, whereby we ask people to take vaccine and then we reward those vaccinated people with incentive. For government side, when the country already reached herd immunity, it is easier for that country to open back all of their section, especially economy section, as almost all of the people is already vaccinated. Next, I want to say that the motion upheld by the opposition is impractical, as first, they kept getting out of the topic where they keep changing the subject into anti-vaccine. They talk a lot about the anti-vaccine but never give us a strong reason about their statement. Secondly, they forget that we now live in a modern life where we could reach those in rural area by using mobile vaccine center and give vaccination to them. So we don't have to worry about those in rural area as they will surely get their vaccine. Also, they keep talking about financial issue while the main thing in this motion is about incentive effectiveness. With all of that, it indicates the opposition does not understand about the motion and still playing with their illusion game. Lastly, the main and most important clash in this debate today is the question of the effectiveness of giving incentive to the vaccinated people. Will it or will it not create more problem? The opposition side has tried to explain about how giving incentive to the people will lead to spoiling the people, but they only provide a best case scenario with no foundation on evidence. They're trying to say that give incentive will spoil the people, but I once state that we, government, give the incentive as a reward so they will feel motivated. We don't give incentive to pamper the people. As from our perspective, our people head percentage is important for us, and in order to attract them, we use incentive as a reward. If you think that we are trying to become fairy godmother like in Cinderella tales, give whatever Cinderella aka our people wish for, you are wrong. Government just give people chance to have a good life, and it's people own decision either to accept or not. In conclusion, when we give incentive, we attract more people to take vaccine. The more people take vaccine, the higher the percentage of reaching our target, which is herd immunity. Once we achieve herd immunity, we can live our life just like before the pandemic has begun. Therefore, I, as the Prime Minister of the government side, already show everyone why we agree with the motion, which are Malaysians who have received their COVID-19 vaccination should be given incentive. That is all from me. Thank you.
Um, Thank you for all the debaters. Now we will give some time for our adjudicators to carefully give mark and discuss who is the winner for today's debate, as well as deciding the best speaker. Um, and also, I'm sorry you can actually POI the third speaker. It was a wrong alarm, so you can POI all speakers except for the reply speech. You cannot POI. So sorry for the third speaker of the opposition team. While waiting for our committee members to count the mark from the juries, we would like to ask the juries to comment on the debate that just happened. Maybe we can start with Dr. Huzaimi. Can you comment on the debate that had just happened? Oh,
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you to both teams for presenting your arguments so eloquently, so succinctly, and thank you as well for the effort put into this by the organizing committee. I feel that this topic is always going to favor the government side. I have a strong feeling that all the points given by the government is something that the current government can also look into and decide. Okay, the opposition team tried hard to rebut all the points, but I think ultimately it looks as though the government team has put in a very strong case. Okay, kudos to, I think, especially to the second speaker of the government team. Okay, who was that? Asila, right? Yes, Asila. Excellent presentation of the points, also as well as rebutting the POI. Okay, I think that as much as I can give, I think I'll let the other judges also give some comments. Thank you.
thank you, Doctor, for the comment. Next, I would like to invite Dr. Siti Norashikin, maybe? Or
Hi, sorry I couldn't get the backdrop to my Google Meet. I was just unable to. My system doesn't let. Okay, so anyhow, it was a good debate between the two teams, and I'm quite proud with what you have presented. And I think I stand with Dr. Huzaimi in which that the government team has a stronger case to build. Okay, but then I think the opposition has made quite good points to rebut the government. Okay, so we see how it goes.
thank you, Doctor. Now, please, Dr. Zaid.
Okay, Assalamualaikum to everyone, to the speakers, to the organizing committees and the fellow judges. And so my comment in general to this topic, what I can observe is that you have to differentiate, what is anti-vaccine versus vaccine hesitant. They are not the same, So anti-vaccine, as the speakers has mentioned, whatever you tell them, whatever reward you give to them, they will never respond to our persuasion. But vaccine hesitant, they are not completely anti-vaccine. They believe in vaccine, but they are afraid with the side effects, for example, or they simply do not have adequate information. So in theory, incentive does work to persuade those who are vaccine hesitant. But at this moment, in my opinion, vaccine incentive may not work for Malaysia. Number one, as the opposition has mentioned, we simply do not have enough vaccine. Okay, giving vaccine itself is already an incentive. You get protection from the COVID-19. And it would anger people, especially those who has registered very early on, but until today has not been called or have not received any appointment. They have no access to vaccine. Okay. In another, maybe some points to add to the opposition. You should see vaccination is a moral duty. Just like being a student, you have a moral duty to study. Okay, you should not be rewarded for studying. Everyone should study. Okay, similar to vaccine, you can give incentive to those who perform the very best, but you should not reward everyone. Okay, so that is the some arguments that you may want to give. Okay, so incentive to certain extent may work. Yeah, it has been recognized as one of the public health tools that can be effective, especially to combat vaccine hesitancy. But on its own, it may not work entirely. Okay, for example, in America, they at the moment the vaccination rate is at 60%. They are aiming for 70%, so they're providing a lot of incentives, yeah, but they fail to achieve, yeah, herd immunity despite incentives. So the best for Malaysia, in my opinion, is not incentive, but promotion and education itself. Yeah. So I am more inclined to the opposition. Right. So, but I think both presented arguments very good. Yeah. I'm 50-50 actually. Right. Thank you.
Thank you, doctors, for your comment. I hope all debaters will take this advice positively and use it for the next rounds. We are still waiting for the results, so just keep in there, just wait for a few more minutes. Once I get the results, I'll tell you all. Now the results are in my hand. The winner of this debate today is the sorry, the government team Ravenclaw, and the best speaker is chosen by the juries is the second speaker from Ravenclaw team also. So congratulations from all of you to all of you. So finally is end of today's round. Thank you for all of the amazing debates. Thank you for all of the juries and all of the participants who are willing to spend their time this evening. Okay, like right before we exit this Google Meet, I hope like everyone can turn on their cameras so we can take a photography session as a memory, and I'll send it to the participants group and also to the doctors later. So, Haswani, you can stop sharing. Thank you. Including the timekeeper and also other committee members. I'll count. Don't worry. Okay. I think you can take the picture now. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Another one. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, thank you. So congratulations all of you did well. So you can leave the Google Meet now.